Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Jeff with another episode of Rebuilding Ourselves. I must apologize first for not being online as much as I planned to. I really did want to do this once a week, but life kind of happened, which is a good thing as opposed to the alternative. Um, those of you who have been following this know that I've been trying to write a book on dealing with depression, getting yourself out of that rut, and getting back into being the person that your friends remember you to be. Um, it took an unexpected twist for me, and this book is becoming more of a personal journey than a self help guide that I'm writing for myself and anyone else who wishes to read it. Uh, one of the things that I was researching are different neurological disorders, different things that can cause depression, including autism. And it kind of threw me through a loop because when I started reading about a specific type of autism called Asperger's syndrome, it's basically an autism spectrum disorder, and I'm looking at all the characteristics and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I was like this a lot when I was a kid, and wow, that sounds familiar, and that sounds familiar, and hmm, I'm onto something here, and I really need to talk to somebody else with an outside point of view. I ran this list of uh, characteristics through a couple of friends, my family, my girlfriend, and afterwards they all had the same opinion. It's like, wow, it does sound a lot like you. And I even went so far as to call an old psychiatrist that had previously evaluated me as being bipolar, and I said, well, hey, does your diagnosis, does it also fit the criteria for Asperger's syndrome? And he said over the phone, he goes, well, actually, reviewing your case, yes, there are some very startling characteristics about this that can be uh, determined to be Asperger's. And I said, wow, I might be high level functioning autistic. That's not something I ever considered before. I mean, I had learning disabilities growing up. I mean, I butcher the English language even to this day, which is probably why I'm having a hard time writing a book. But, I excel in areas like math and science. I was able to get into Mensa, which is what they call the high IQ society. I still think they made a mistake, but somehow I passed their tests. Um, and I went and I got a new evaluation, and sure enough, that is my formal diagnosis. I have autism spectrum disorder. And learning about it, it kind of gave me a whole new perspective on my life, how I dealt with situations in the past, why I did the things I did, why I said the things I said. And it brought me so much closer to being back to the old Jeff. And I wouldn't have done it if I didn't start this whole journey of self exploration, this whole need to write this book, to document what I've been through, to use it as um, my personal stepladder out of my hole of crap. I wanted to get that leg up. I really wanted to succeed and overcome all these problems in my life. And now knowing this, it gives me a different perspective. It gives me a lot more information. I mean, I knew deep down inside when they told me that I had a chemical imbalance. They told me I was bipolar. They told me this, that, and the other thing. And a lot of it, I knew at my core wasn't real. It wasn't true. It wasn't accurate. And I just kept on pushing on and said, you know what? I can't dwell on all the things that might be wrong. I need to go out and do things that are going to make it right. And through that determination, I discovered that I am high level autistic. It's not exactly where I thought this path was going to lead me, but it does make sense. Um, Different things that I've experienced in my life, it's explainable now. I understand why I did the things I did. And it's a milestone that I really think is going to change how this book is written. It's going to change how I present things on YouTube. Um, it's not going to change this channel so much, but I want to be able to help more people. And this goes back to the whole thing I was saying before about Don't give in to people who want to put you on drugs. Don't give in to people who have, okay, this is what's wrong with you and this is how we fix it. One size fits all psychology is not the best thing for our society because we are so unique. Back in the 1920s, one out of every 200,000 people were born and diagnosed as autistic. Now it's one out of every 110. So we are evolving past the point of known psychiatric treatment. We are the next stage of evolution. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but that seems to be where we're headed. So, back to the meds. If you are on medication and your behavior is somewhat abnormal or gets worse, one of the things that Asperger's syndrome can do is if you're put on medication, it will make your behavior worse. It'll make you more disruptive. So, all you parents out there that have hyperactive children who have a focus on something very specific, they have the one love of their life, and that's what they want to be when they grow up. If they can't adapt to other things in the classroom, if they just have this one hardcore thing that they want to do, and the doctor wants to put them on something to help them focus or help them concentrate, please don't let them do it. Take them to a professional and find out exactly what is wrong. Go out and get a second opinion. Please don't just blindly listen to them. This is your child, it's their future. I could have been diagnosed with this when I was in elementary school. My parents took me to one doctor. The doctor said he's hyperactive child. They didn't call it ADD back then or ADHD. They just said he's hyperactive, and they said that we're going to try him on Ritalin. Yep, I'm a Ritalin kid. And when the Ritalin wasn't working all that great, they decided to put me on Haldol because of all of the behavioral problems I started to develop when I was on Ritalin. The Haldol wasn't really doing much except making me like a zombie. I had no appetite. I was starting to get really thin, and for me, that's just really weird because I'm a big guy, even when I was a kid. That wasn't working so well, so they put me on Milleril to help the Haldol, and all that did was make me really, really, really depressed. So they put me on imipramine, which is an antidepressant, and this is before I was in the 6th grade. And people wonder why today I have strong rejections and strong opinion about being medicated by a psychopharmacologist as opposed to someone who is going to dig deep within your psyche and find out what the hell is wrong with you. Because that's what people need. And sometimes, like in my case, I opened the door to this book and I found the one answer I never had. All my life, I have been a level of autistic. I have Asperger's syndrome. And now it's going to open a lot more doorways to me because I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And now I'm hooked up with people who know how to deal with it. It's going to prepare me and my family for the future. The sad thing is, I waited until I was 35 years old to find out exactly what was wrong. My whole life could have been much different if I had learned this at an early age. So, once again, drive yourself to find what is making you the way you are. Think outside the box. Start reading stories about other people who are dealing with depression, other people who are dealing with behavioral problems, the whole sense of wanting to keep to oneself. Find out what makes you tick. If you are determined enough to do that, you can beat this by yourself. But you know what? If you need the help of somebody else, don't be ashamed to go out and ask for that help. Because it's the only way you're going to get better. So until next time, and I find out something else about myself, like, I'm related to Genghis Khan, um, keep in touch, write me some reviews, give me some feedback, and also let me know topics you would like me to cover, because that's kind of what I'm looking for now. I'm kind of looking for some material, some ideas. What direction should I take this channel in? I definitely value your opinion. I definitely look forward to seeing you again, and I will talk to you soon. Go out, have some fun, be well, and come back again.